Good Monday to everybody in COM 110. Welcome to week boom 1. How are you doing? I am Dr. Jeff Gardner, your instructor for this short semester, because we've got eight weeks, yeah, that many, to go through public speaking. So welcome to the class. Whoa, let's get things started off on the right foot. I run on coffee, so that is much better. Now I am your sufficiently caffeinated public speaking communication instructor. Welcome. All right. To get started for this week, I'm going to tell you a little bit about how the course will go, some things that will be expected of you, how you start, how you get off to a great start, how you continue through the 8 weeks to have a great finish. Okay. But before all that, let me tell you a little bit about myself. I have been in the communications / speaking business for something like 30 years. I've done public speaking. I've done writing. I ran a humanitarian media company for 15 years. Something like that. I've worked all around the world, across the continent of Africa, in the Middle East, in Asia, upper parts of North America, in the Caribbean. All different places, all different cultures, all different audiences. So what I hope to do is to bring some of that expertise to you here as we proceed throughout the semester and help you develop an interest and an aptitude for public speaking. Okay, so that's a little bit about me. All right. First things first, and because it's 8 weeks, things move quickly. So it is extremely important week by week that you watch these videos. I will endeavor to keep them short, usually something like 10 to 20 minutes, almost never longer than 30 minutes. Sorry, no jump cuts or graphics, just me, just my office. That's going to have to do. Right. But in these videos, I'll be explaining the objectives for the week, the major concepts. We'll be discussing the readings that we go over. Usually I'll give you 2 videos a week. One in which I will go over the material that we covered last week, and then the other in which I'll discuss what's coming up this week. Okay. So for this week, right at the top of the list, there are 3 things, three things that you must do. Number 1, you must take the participation quiz. Now, I know, I've been getting like a blizzard of emails from people saying it doesn't seem to be working. I get thrown out. Can I do it again? Okay. I gotta let you in on a little secret here. All right. Just because it's just us in here. The participation quiz really doesn't affect your grade. In fact, if you look at the syllabus, you'll see it's 1%. Heck, I'll give you the 1%. The participation quiz is there to demonstrate that you're actually a live person and you're enrolled in the class and you're not either a bot or, and I know there's nobody in here that would be doing that, or saying that you're signing up for courses that you're not and then taking federal money for things that you don't do. The university is required to demonstrate that you're actually here and a live person within the first week. And if it doesn't do that, there's like a report, we being the faculty member in the department. If it doesn't do that on a regular basis, then it risks losing its participation in federal funding for its students, which is you, which we don't want. That is losing the federal funding, not you. We love you. Come on in, baby. Okay. Get a little bit more coffee. So what am I saying? Am I saying that the quiz is pointless? Well, no, not exactly. But am I saying that if you take it and it goes all catty-wonky, should you be worried? Absolutely not. If you take it and you don't get every single question right, should you be worried? No. Let it go, man. Just you got to get very zen about this quiz. Just very, very, very chillax. Okay. Just open the stupid thing up, take it, send, hit click. And that demonstrates that you're here and you're a real live person, and it's not going to affect your grade. And you might be saying, well, golly gee, that seems like a useless exercise. Yeah, actually it's not, because, in the age of who knows who's swimming around out there online, it is extremely important, just not important to your grade. Does that make sense? All right. I probably answered a half a dozen emails this morning. I want everybody to just relax. It's going to be okay. So that's task number 1 for this week. You're a live person, and CAPTCHA and stuff for a whole course, that just doesn't do it. You're like, well, why can't I check a box or tell you how many dog tails are in this picture or something like that? Not good enough. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, go to the syllabus. Print the syllabus. I do like I say, not like I do, because I don't happen to have a print copy here right with me. Read the syllabus. This is going to be your guide throughout the semester as to what we're going to be doing and when it is going to be due. You will note on page 222 of the syllabus, there is a breakdown of the major work here in the class. You're going to be recording 4 speeches throughout the course of the semester. You will be participating in a weekly discussion board or a quiz. Typically not both in a week, all right? And what I mean by discussion board is I'll have questions for you about the reading. For this first week, we're going to stick with a quiz. Now, some of you have already emailed me, and because you read the syllabus, thank you very much. And you say, hey, I don't see a quiz. Exactly. I'm not going to put the quiz up until towards the end of the week because what I want you to do is to focus on the readings, not focus on the questions within the quiz. I know, diabolical. That's just how I roll. No, I'm here to help you get the most out of the material. Okay. So good news for you. You don't have to buy any textbooks for this class. How'd I say that's a gimme, right? Quid pro quo. We can do this. For week number 1, what I need you to do is to go to the Regent Library, and you access that, by going to My Regent portal, and you get that home page, and then on the one side, it says like Canvas and blah, 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 blah. You'll see a link that says Regent Library. Clicky on that, okay? And I need you to look up Eric Palmer's, this is an online book, Well Spoken, Teaching Speaking to All Students. All right, this is from Routledge Press from 2011. Now, when you start reading it, you might say, hey, this sounds like a teacher edition because it's talking to instructors. Well, you're undergraduates now, so we can usher you back behind the curtain, okay? But although it's instruction to instructors, did I get that right? Yeah. The precepts and the concepts are the same. Okay, and it's a good text. And I need you to read parts 1 and 2, that is chapters 1 through 7. And yes, you got to read all of them for this week. Now, you will also notice once you print out and carefully examine the syllabus, poring over, with it but in minute detail, sleeping with it close by under your pillow, or wherever else, that you'll see this on page 3, that the due date for the work in the class, say this first week we're going to have a quiz, is the Monday of the next week. So today, August the 19th, classes start. You will be completing the quiz on the 26th or by the 26th. I may open it up earlier, okay, for you. This is going to be true throughout our 8 weeks. Why do I do that? You may be asking. Here's why. I realize that a number of you work. You have other things that you're trying to manage, okay? And so I like to give you it's not required, but I like to give you the opportunity to have blocks of time on the weekend to complete your work. Now, do not wait until the weekend to start this reading. Okay? Start it now. Start reading through it. Start taking notes. I recommend that you take notes on paper. There is an important connection between your hand and your mind when it comes to retaining information that is not supplemented, supplanted is really the word I'm looking for, by a keyboard. And look, man, I'm Mr. Digital. I teach classes in media and mediated communication in both in things as specific as politics, as general as research, and as broad as like global communication. But do it all. All right. I have a smart device like everybody else. I have a laptop. I have a pad. I have a writing notepad that it's called Remarkable, that you write on, that you can take handwritten, that's translated. You got it all. That does not supplant, does not replace the memory connection that's made between your mind and the material in front of you that comes with writing. All right. So if you've not heard that, or you haven't done that, now you've heard it, and I encourage you to do it. And what do you write with? Well, what do you like? Okay. Find something that triggers that mind connection with, okay, now I'm supposed to remembering this stuff. So for me, do I have it handy? Oh, yes. Okay. Depending on what I'm doing, I write with a few specific tools and on a few specific surfaces. So when I work as a journalist and do a lot of writing about a variety of things. And so when I'm thinking about a story, or I'm making notes, or I'm taking an interview, I use this leather-bound book that was a gift from my wife. The other thing that's really not necessarily relevant to public speaking, but I spend a goodly amount of time trekking through the wilderness. That is, backpacking and going to way far out places. This summer, for example, I was trekking in northern Spain. We were out on a route for 7 days, I think. The year before that, I was in the wilds of Wyoming, and the year before that, I was out on a trail in Utah. We were out for 11 days. Don't see anybody, carry everything on our back. Why do I do that? That's just my weird head. Okay. And why is this important? Because this leather journal from my wife, you can look closely so I can get this straight into the camera. Okay. It has my name on the bottom, like over here. And then up here, it's embroidered. Do you say that? Embroidered? Stamped? I don't know. It's stamped with a saying, not all those who wander are lost. Okay. So, it's funny. I spent a lot of time in East Africa, and there's a term in Swahili used specifically for Europeans, Mazugu, and it literally means wandering around, a wandering idiot. All right, it's not a nice word. It's a pejorative, but anyway. So when I'm thinking about stories and I'm creating, that's the space that I'm in. Okay. Now, when I am writing longer things, I have a couple of books in the work. I like these paper books by a German company, and they make really, really nice handcrafted paper. All right. They give you these labels that never stick. Anyway, so I write in that. All right. And depending on what I'm doing, I love fountain pens. Okay. So this is a fountain pen my wife gave me for for my birthday. Okay. It's made in France. One of my favorites. And I have I have this one, and I have this one, and yeah, I may have a problem. But I'm looking into therapy. I haven't taken the step, but anyway, acknowledging your problem is the first step. All right. Write it down. So when you go through the readings, write it down. And that will help the material stay in your head, and that will inform the discussion questions that you may be asked. All right. Or help you take the quiz. And so for this week, again, we're going to have a quiz. Okay. So that's number 2. Take the syllabus quiz, print out the syllabus and read it. And in the syllabus, you will find the readings. Excuse me, you won't find the readings in the syllabus. You will find the assignments. Okay. The third thing that you should do, and you should do this every single week, all right, go to the modules on Canvas and see the module that we posted, we meaning me, that I posted for this week. Now, for some of you, if this is your first semester as an undergraduate, let me know. Tell me, okay? In the Canvas module, under the modules, you'll find, a welcome and then a say hello section. It says worth 100 points. I'm not giving you any points for this yourself. Okay. Get in there and start talking to each other. Okay. And if this is your first semester as an undergraduate, okay, say so. If you are having problems with Canvas or figuring out where things are as you're going through the things you should do this week and every week, here's what I ask you to do. Number one, try to figure it out. Okay. More so than the stuff that you learn, what you should take away from an undergraduate experience is learning how to learn, because that's the world that you're entering into. That's going to be the expectation. Whether you go into graduate school or you come out of your undergraduate program and you go right into the workforce, the expectation on you, the most valuable skill that you can bring to the table, is that you can demonstrate that you know how to teach yourself stuff. You know where to find information. So if you have a problem with Canvas, get your butt onto YouTube, all right, and look it up, okay? If you cannot figure it out, all right, and that's despite your best efforts, please, yes, email me, but please email me through Canvas. This helps me keep, all the emails in the same spot. And so I don't have stuff, because I have, my faculty email and I have my Canvas email. And I think I've even got like a Gmail floating around that some people contact me through, and it becomes terribly confusing. Not confusing, inconvenient. That's the right word. Okay, so that is number 3. Each week, go to the module, take a look at what it is, what's to be expected of you. So for instance, you'll see that this week, you're asked to say hello. And our focus this week is going to be introduction to public speaking and what is authentic communication. Okay. And that's going to be, those two things will be the focus of Eric Palmer's well-spoken book. What is communication? And why is it important? Why is public speaking, excuse me, why should you care? Why should you care? All right. And then you'll see the chapters, and you won't see the quiz, I haven't posted it yet. Okay, so that's number 3 of the things to do this week. Take the syllabus quiz, print the syllabus, and familiarize yourself with what's coming up. Go to this week's module and get at the readings. Okay. Now, you'll see in the syllabus a schedule for your speeches. Okay, you're going to have 4 of them. Have you do, there's a lot of ways to approach public speaking. Okay. What I thought we'd do is as we're going through the elements of public speaking, I'm going to have you craft 4 of the most common types of speeches that you'll be called on to give. A ceremonial speech in which you're recognizing the significance of some event. A demonstrative speech in which you're explaining how something works. A persuasive speech in which you're trying to move the audience's opinion, okay? And a descriptive speech in which you are describing the nature of something. Descriptive and demonstrative are very, very close, but descriptive is unique in that you're merely describing the thing. You're not explaining how this works, or as often is the case in demonstrative speeches, how it works and why should you care? How does it work for you, or how do you work it? Like, how do you run a washing machine, or I don't know, get the oil in your car changed, or whatever, of a dozen things throughout your life. Okay, so you'll see the due dates. Remember, they're going to be on a Monday, broken down week by week. Week 1, week 2, week 3, et cetera, et cetera. For your speeches, Okay, you will post them on YouTube. You record them on anything you like, but remember, part of what, and I'll give you a grading rubric probably later this week. I want you to focus on the readings and getting a handle on the syllabus and that kind of stuff. One of the things you're going to be graded on is your presentation, because if it's unless you're trying for the I'm lost in space vibe, and it's like the picture's like going, don't record it that way. All right. So if you have a webcam, you have something on your laptop, position it in such a way that I'm not looking up your nose, or like off to one, so you're over here like this, okay? Or you can use your smart device, set it up. If you don't have a tripod, yeah, fine. Set up a stack of books. Okay, imagine you were looking at it like this. Set up a stack of books, and then one here where you're standing this stupid thing up. Flip the screen around so you can see yourself in the screen. That is, how do people see you? As we will discuss, and that's one of the key elements of effective public speaking, is being aware of the audience's perspective, both in terms of your physical presence and what it is that comes out of your mouth. Okay? So, for this week, I want you to focus on the readings, and your first speech will be due next week. And although you can record it on anything you want, you must post it through YouTube. So if you do not have a YouTube account, get onto YouTube and get one. How do you get onto YouTube, and how do you get an account on YouTube? This takes us full circle and back to what the main objective is. Here's an undergraduate, and this is you learning how to teach yourself stuff. If we get to the end of the week and you're really stumped, all right, you reach out to me by email. Otherwise, set up a YouTube account, and then I will give you an instructional sheet next week that will give you a couple of key things. Like, you have to make sure that you click make this speech public, because if you send me a link and you've designated it as private, I'm not going to be able to see your speech, and I can't grade what I can't see. Okay. And that's the final point that I want to hit. So we have, what do you need to do this week? What's coming up? Okay. What do you need to do this week? How do you do well in class? What's coming up? And then here's the final point that encapsulates all of that. Since we're on an 8-week schedule, it is imperative that you stay on top of the deadlines. Late work, no can do, man. Okay. And you'll find this in the syllabus. I'm not going to go into this, but there are severe penalties for late work, up to and including the score of 0. And you don't want that. All right. I'm here to help you. Help me help you. Help me help you. Get your stuff in on time. If you have extenuating circumstances, hey, these things happen. Reach out and tell me. Okay. My office hours are on there. I am parked at my desk or next to my phone, wherever I'm working during those office hours. So if you need to call me, you need to get in touch with me, that's fine. If you want to text me, that's fine. Give me your name, and be sure to tell me that you're from COM, COMM 110. All right. Because I have other classes that I teach. And if you just say, hey, this is Joe. I'm like, okay, what up, Joe? I don't know. I love you. I love all of you, but I don't know you yet. Okay. So make sure that you tell me that this is the class you're in. Okay, everybody. I seem I'm past my 20-minute mark. My apologies. Welcome. Okay. We're going to have a great 8 weeks. I've got a lot to share with you. I hope that you get a lot out of it. All right. Get that syllabus, print it out, live it, love it, learn it. Okay. And then I will see you on Canvas. Okay, everybody. Take care and God bless. Bye-bye.